Celebrities are so entertaining, right? I am always very intrigued by the headlines and the photos in the grocery store aisle. Like, what are they up to now? It's just an endless source of entertainment. Well, and divorce is like an extra like juicy topic. So there's always something crazy going on in the celebrity world involving divorce. And I wanted to make a little case study about Ivana Trump's second divorce. Well, the divorce after she was married to Donald Trump. I'm not sure if she was married prior to Donald Trump, but there's something that you can learn in case studies because there's just endless possibilities of what people can come up with, but you don't really know what's out there or what's possible until you hear someone else doing it, and it kind of gives you an idea. I'm not suggesting that you do this, but it is really interesting to see what people can come up with. So, typically the legal process happens during the divorce process. So you fight, maybe you even go to court, but then the divorce decree is issued, it's settled, life moves on. But in the case of Ivana Trump's second marriage, the to a guy named Ricardo Massachusetts. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but she ended up suing him after the divorce was over, but it was regarding the divorce. So how is that even possible? Well, they had been married 2 years, and they dissolved the marriage. They filed for divorce. The divorce went actually pretty quickly because they had a prenuptial agreement, and so everything was kind of like laid out how the marriage will be dissolved. But then she filed a $15 million lawsuit that um, that was because of the divorce, which is not normal. I haven't heard of that before. So you know, leave it to like rich celebrities to find loopholes in the system. So let's like figure out like what exactly happened there. Well, the like I said, the prenuptial agreement, it would have caused the divorce process to go faster than normal because they had already agreed prior to getting married, like an exit strategy. Like this is what would happen in the event that we would split up. Like, this was what our assets would look like, etc. But what the lawsuit was actually over was a breach of contract against her ex-husband for violating a confidentiality clause in their prenup. So it's like, what does that mean? Well, in their prenuptial agreement, they must have sworn to secrecy to each other to keep certain things confidential. And clearly, or apparently, the ex must have opened his mouth and gossiped at some point. So we don't really know like what they didn't tell us like what the breach was, like what the ex did or said to expose Ivana and trigger this lawsuit. Maybe it was like a deep dark secret. Maybe he bragged about something to his friends and she heard about it. Maybe there was like it was more serious and it was about, business practices or secrets or financial information. Who knows? But that was all Ivana needed to file a $15 million lawsuit. So the lawsuit was settled outside of court in 1997, and which to me suggests that he was guilty or at least wanted to um, like wrap this up and contain it and not have it be like get more exposure or who knows why, but that's sort of an indication um, of his guilt. In my opinion, that's me reading between the lines there. Um, so uh, yeah, I mean, it could have just been a scandal that he wanted to contain, or it could have been legitimate, but it yielded her $15 million. Not a bad deal. Um, so, divorce is ugly. It's so bad. I think this particular case study shows two things. Like, if you are willing to pay attorney fees, you can like I feel like you can concoct up about anything and bring it through the court system and just like wear your opponent out eventually. Like either they are too embarrassed to continue fighting and want to just shut it up, or they run out of money to pay attorney fees. But I mean, it's a strategy that's unfortunately used a lot in the U.S. Legal system. And I feel like that's what happened in my divorce. Like my ex had more money than I did, and he just like continually brought me back to court. And yeah, my attorney ended up just like he wasn't charging me at the time, so on the back end he was just accounting for everything I owed him and then charged me interest at the end. But yeah, it's a game that's played in the legal system. In this case, Ivana showed us something really creative, that you can get even uglier with divorce. So I'm not a fan of it, but it's good to know what's out there, what's being used, because knowledge is power, and you want to be educated on this. So yeah, not a huge fan of the tabloid kind of like drama that happens around divorce, but it's better to be aware of it than not if you're the one going through a messy divorce. If you want to hear about other divorce related issues, get educated, hear stories, get encouraged, get help, sign up for my newsletter. It's on divorceowl.com/opt-in. The information will come right to your inbox every month. Keep your chin up because you are an overcomer.